season press conference. Adam Schefter is in the Domino's pregame headquarters with the coaching carousel. Shefty.
Well, Greeny, Steve Bisciotti's former coach, John Harbaugh, was finalizing an agreement with the New York Giants in the middle of the week. But here we are, Saturday morning, and that agreement still is not done. Now, John Harbaugh and the Giants both believe that they are going to get this agreement done. It's Saturday. There are games today, tomorrow, a national holiday on Monday, and the plan all along and hope has been to have a press conference on Tuesday to introduce John Harbaugh as the next head coach of the New York Giants. But here we are, some 72 hours later, and they're still haggling over the language of the contract. They've agreed on the money, but not the terms, not the way that it will lay out within the structure of the organization. They're going back and forth on it. It's a document over 40 pages that lawyers still are going through right now, combing through all the details. I will say it has caught the attention of people across the league. Many have called to say it is highly unusual and very peculiar that this deal still is not worked out. But I want to emphasize that both sides, the Harbaugh camp and the Giants, both still believe this is getting done. They believe they're at the goal line. They need to get it across, but they are not across yet.
All right, we'll see how they do in the red zone as they got to get this thing settled up there with Harbaugh. And of course, look, if it goes sideways, that's an entirely other conversation. Let's live in a world where they do get this done, which remains, as Shefty said, the expectation. And now you bring in this veteran, experienced leader, CEO type of a coach with that young group. Rex, how good can they be and how quickly?
I think he'll flip it overnight. I really do. And look, they lost the Giants in 5 games this year, had double-digit leads and blew it. I think it's going to be interesting to see who his staff is. You're going to probably get an all-star staff, in my opinion, because you'll want to be with Harbaugh, I'm sure. And so that's going to be interesting. You're not only getting John Harbaugh, the leadership and all that, but he's also going to go out and probably hire the best coaches. All right, we'll see. But anyway, when I look at it, this team right here is so talented. All right. If you go in, to build a organization, you want to have a franchise-type quarterback. We'll see. I think they may have one right there. You want a franchise left tackle to protect that quarterback. Check that box. You want a franchise number 1 receiver. You can check that box. And by the way, you got 5 guys that can absolutely rush the passer. You put the right guy in that situation, they may go to number 1 in the league in defense. All right, so to me, I think absolutely this is a playoff team. Look, John Harbaugh, his first year, rookie head coach, had a rookie quarterback and went to a championship game his first season. All right, that's happened, I think, 5 times in the history of the NFL. And the next year, of course, I did it. All right, go on.
I mean, I think you're dead on. I mean, to me, this is who's his coordinators, right? This is a head coach that is an executive. He doesn't coordinate either side of the ball. So I think number 1 front burner item is like, who are my 2 coordinators, right? And I think it is his responsibility to get the best of the best. And then secondly, this is Jaxson Dart. Right? This is a quarterback-driven league. You have a young, talented quarterback who has been injury-prone this year, right? And can you strike the balance in his development and his ability to still use his legs? That has to be a part of his game. And that's where I love this marriage with John Harbaugh. This guy only just coached Lamar Jackson, the greatest running quarterback maybe in the history of the NFL, for 8 seasons, right? And I think a quarterback that really had a great balance of that, of not taking big hits, but obviously still leaning on his legs. Can he communicate that and get that done with Jaxson Dart?
Yeah, I mean, Jaxson Dart is a different mental beast than Lamar Jackson. I don't see Lamar Jackson out there trying to prove how tough he is. I see Lamar Jackson being that quick athlete that gets about 40 yards on a quarterback run, then gets down or gets out of bounds. So, I mean, and how good was the relationship, quarterback and head coach, of Harbaugh and Jackson? It wasn't the best. So now, can Harbaugh get to this kid? I mean, because we really still have to see how good he really is. I mean, this is, all right, if anything, what's the best thing he does? I mean, I've seen him get better in the pocket, but this is his best sort of attribute right here. And also, he wants to keep proving he's a tough guy. And so can Harbaugh reach this kid? Like you're saying, Alex, it's about the quarterback-head coach relationship.
You know, and I would have to piggyback off you guys. Just after what you said, Alex, the development of Jaxson Dart, of what he's shown in the middle of the season. You know, before the injury to Scatterbull, you know how excited we was about this organization. But really, when I look at Coach Harbaugh going to the Giants, I look at the division. Being able to lead the AFC North, when him and Mike Tomlin was the talks of the AFC North, now you coming into this division with Shoddy, and then you got Sirianni, in Philadelphia. So I just think there is a lot to talk about with adding him. And Rex, I do agree to you. With adding a guy like Harbaugh, instantly playoff contenders, yes.
On that note, the Giants have not won this division since 2011, right? You know what's crazy, and it might be hard for you guys over there to hear, MetLife Stadium, which hosts both New York teams, they've hosted one playoff game, right? One New York team
in its existence
since 2010.
Correct.
Right? Like, how crazy is that? Like, maybe John Harbaugh can finally be a remedy there.
And we're talking, what was that, a 40-page contract? Is that what Shefty's talking about here? Rex, are they usually that big? I mean, head coaching contracts?
No, mine I think was 1 page. I said, hell yeah.
What are we saying?
A lot of numbers on there,
What
bro.
needs to be said in 40 pages, man?
That's a lot of numbers.
Well, one can speculate. We can sit here and wonder about power structure and who you're reporting to. And Joe Shane, the general manager, is still there, and Harbaugh is coming in, and who will have final say. We don't know that these are the things that are being talked about, but it sort of stands to reason. We'll see if they get it done in time for a Tuesday press conference. Meanwhile, we'll talk about another coach who's a CEO and much, much more. Injury news, Sam Darnold, Seattle quarterback. Meanwhile, Adam Schefter rejoins us here with news on the other side. How about the 49ers piece of this?
Well, Greeny, there are 49ers injury questions. We know George Kittle is out for the year with a torn Achilles, 6 to 10 month recovery, but they do get back Ricky Pearsall tonight. He is expected to play. He told reporters he would be out there despite the fact that he's got a knee injury. Fred Warner will not be out there. Their linebacker trying to come back from a dislocated and fractured ankle. They did not activate him. I'm told it's a long shot. He would be ready to play in the NFC Championship game. Better chance for the Super Bowl if somehow the 49ers could get there. Meanwhile, talk about a team ravaged by injuries. The Buffalo Bills lost all these wide receivers to torn ACLs last week. Terrell Shavers and, of course, Gabe Davis. But today, they will get back Curtis Samuel, who's been activated off IR. Ed Oliver, their outstanding defensive tackle, also activated today, though they still will be missing some key players for this afternoon's divisional showdown versus the Denver Broncos. And there have been questions surrounding and following the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur and general manager Brian Gutekunst, but the Packers have been working on extensions for both this week, and I'm told it'll be a surprise if extensions don't get done for both LaFleur and Gutekunst to run it back. Both LaFleur and Gutekunst were headed into the last year of their contracts, but it sounds like they're both going to get extensions that are getting closer to being worked out, Greeny.
All right, Shefty, we'll have an in-depth conversation about some of this coaching carousel as we work our way forward, including John Harbaugh in New York. But let's do opening kicks. We open with the Darnold news. Let's go to the AFC game. And, Randy, what are we looking at for the Buffalo Bills this afternoon?
Man, it's all about Josh Allen and the performance he had last week. Well, this game right here, it's going to be Broncos all over the field. Well, guess what, Denver? There's a stallion coming into town, and that's Josh Allen. Remember last week I talked about everybody eats in this offense. Hell of a game plan by offensive coordinator Joe Brady, but I'm talking about a man that's full. He was tired of eating last week, ladies and gentlemen. That's right there, Shakir. All 12 of his targets he caught going into Mile High. Y'all better be ready to tackle this stallion. Hafunga, Cooper, Allen. I can't leave out you, Benito. It's going down to Mile High, bro.
Well, Moss says the reason the Broncos got the bye is because they were the #1 seed, and this is a big reason why Bo Nix, he's doing his best Josh Allen impression all season long. He can do some of the similar things. You see him right here scrambling, getting out of the pocket. He is a skilled runner also. We're about to watch two quarterbacks put on a show. I can't wait to see this one because Bo Nix is up for the challenge.
All right, well, let's go to Seattle, fellas. We just talked about it. Sam Darnold dealing with the oblique. He's going to test it pregame. That should reinforce this philosophy even more. Listen, run the ball.
Yes.
You've got two dynamic backs, Zach Charbonnet, right, Kenneth Walker. These guys only went for 180 yards 2 weeks ago against this same unit. Now you're at home, right? Rely on them even more. Win the rushing battle again today. End every drive with a kick. And the reality is you win this football game.
Well, Alex, I don't disagree. I think they will